the main effort is made to cover up. What up, y'all? This your boy P Funk, aka TBSP, the bus stop philosopher, and you're probably watching this on YouTube, probably, and you will be watching the no broadcast. Today is May 9th, 2020. I just had a quick thought. I've been having this thought, so I just decided to put a little philosophy on it. And what I'm not, it's a thing that I'm not getting, and I'm not getting why, with the pandemic that's circling the globe, why does every country and world leader and researcher and why so much spin? You know, I've been seeing videos taken down off the internet, or actually I haven't been seeing them, but you know, it's been happening, and it's been, you know, the information has been spread that certain information, not only just all over the world, like London Real had a bunch of videos taken down, China censored, a lot of in the United States was I think I'm saying this right, Dr. Batar, however you say that, and you know, probably many others. The suppression of information is just amazing to me in a time where, you know, we need all the medical information we can get, and you got things like the infectious disease specialist or whatever, Dr. Fauci, where they want to let him testify in front of Republicans, but they don't want to testify in front of Democrats or whatever. Or like Chinese. I mean, I almost feel like Dr. Fauci, and I don't know this guy's name, I'll have to look it up, the Chinese doctor who was the whistleblower. Why are we trying to silence the doctors here? The Chinese doctor, he died of the disease, the infection. And Dr. Fauci is only going to be allowed to say what they want him to say, or say it in front of who they want to. He's only going to be testifying in front of, you know, a softball crowd, a bunch of people who's going to ask him questions that don't reveal anything, you know, and all of it. Like, I don't know if about all this stuff about the lab and everything else like that, but you know, the P4 lab or whatever. But how can like Secretary of State Mike Pompeo say, well, you know, China won't let us in to see the lab? Y'all won't even let Fauci talk. Y'all won't even let him talk. You don't have to go halfway 6,000 miles to China to hear what Dr. Fauci has to say. So why is it any different that if you muzzle Dr. Fauci, then when the Chinese whatever country or government muzzles the commentators, the reporters and the journalists, what I want to say, they muzzling the journalists and the medical professionals. So on the one hand, you have Mike Pompeo saying, and not only Mike Pompeo, Trump also, well, you know, China wouldn't let us in. They wouldn't let us have access to the scientists or the data that we need to solve this. But at the same time, in our own domestic situation, we're suppressing, well, we don't want to let this doctor testify in front of the Democrats because, you know, the Democrats, everybody's dying. Everybody. And I get it, but I don't concur with this. Well, Italy has a bad problem, so they're over there. But, you know, South Korea did so good, but they're over here. But Germany did so good, but they're over there. But the United States did this, and they're over here. This pandemic requires all of it. It requires you to not think in terms of borders. This thing is traveling where it wants to. And in the situations that we're in now, you have governments and people that we're locking down travel from this place to that place. And what they do is they cause more travel, or they cause more covert travel. And then all of the games, you know, we're buying protective equipment where they're selling it that some of the protective equipment is not is defective or whatever. So, well, our supply chain is here. And the big problem I see is that there's only one Earth. There's only one humanity. And we keep boiling it down to, well, there's this many deaths in, name a European country, and there's this many infections, and there's this many people tested. And even now, as of today, the staff members for both the president's valet and the vice president's what the fuck is this shit? Press secretary or publicist or spokesperson, whatever, has been tested positive. So regardless of how much covering up, and then you had also in Europe, you had England or whatever, Boris Johnson, UK. Boris Johnson was in intensive care because it's not a supply chain issue. It's not a border issue. It's not, well, Italy has this problem, US has this problem, Australia has this problem. Oh, well, the cruise ships have this problem and the prisons have that problem. It's not that type of problem. This is a human problem. And right now, you can't solve a human problem with only corporate solutions. Corporate solutions. Oh, well, we'll come up with a vaccine. Oh, we'll develop, PPE and, we'll, use this type of tactic and that type of tactic. It would require us to unify in order to beat this. Oh, well, it's a Cold War and it could have been stopped and everything else beforehand. This is Trump talking. Well, this is like an attack. But this is a biological attack. And you're trying to fight it by financial and political means. You can't fight a biological attack. I'm not saying that it's from a specific country or person, but this is a germ that's attacking humans. So why are we not putting all of our energy into finding out what, when, where, how, and why this germ is doing what it's doing? Instead, it's like, oh, it's China's fault. They let people leave and, I put a travel ban and then, for this long I was still holding rallies and shaking hands. And it's just one of these things where I just really, by the way, I don't get it, I don't get it. I turned 47 today. And I'll always remember this birthday because this is a birthday where it was, this is the first one where it's like, you know what? This world that we live in now ain't the world that you lived in for the last 46 years. It's not. And it's really, it's kind of sad, not because of the germ and the disease that's going around, but it's pretty sad because the main effort is made to cover up everything from one side of the globe to the other. So please, people, we can't close our eyes. Open your eyes up. Open your eyes up. Reach out your hand to your fellow man and don't be scared of the future. Because this is the future we're going to live in regardless. So everybody who's thinking, return to normal, it's not a new normal. It's a new now. It's a new reality. So I appreciate everybody who's watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Independent media. Totally and solely for the people, from the people, by the people. Thanks a lot.